Hi, this is Sweet June back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Um, a lot of times here on YouTube, um, a lot of times, um, black single mothers um, get criticized a lot on YouTube. It's pretty much all the time. Um, black single mothers get trashed all the time. Just not just on YouTube, but just in general. Black single mothers get trashed, bashed and um, stereotyped, talked about real bad and everything. And anyway, with that being said, um, because it just seems like it's acceptable to um, con- consistently, particularly um, our black men, a good percentage, not all of our black men, but a good percentage of our black men like to bash black women. It just it just seems like it's um, that's something that's being done on a regular basis. But it's something that I just wanted to talk about. I wanted to address. I noticed that um, because it's like black women are never given credit. It's like it seems like they use every opportunity to bash black women, and black women are never given credit. It just I did a video talking about how black women can't win, and it just seems like no matter what we do, we can't win. No matter what we do, it doesn't seem, we go to college or whatever situation is, it just seems like we still get stereotyped and stigmatized and all that. And then if you're a single mother, you're a black single mother, of course you're going to get it worse. And as I stated in other videos, it doesn't matter what circumstance um, that landed you a single mother. If you're a black woman, it doesn't matter how you got that way. You could have been married and got divorced. It doesn't matter. You're still gonna get stereotyped. You're still gonna get bashed, and all that. And I know a lot of times, um, black men like to say that black women, when statistically, first of all, let me um, make this point first before I go on to the next point that I want to make. Statistically, when a child is raised in a home with, I know one of my subscribers corrected me on that because I did a video and I made the statement that children being raised in single homes. I made that statement, and one of my subscribers came in and corrected me on that, and I appreciate her for that. Because she's like, stop saying that they're raised in single homes because you're making it seem like you're blaming. I said, yeah, you're right. Because I said that's the last thing that I want to do is, and I'm always saying how um, children need to be raised into home parent homes and all that. So I was glad that she corrected me on that. I wasn't really aware that I actually said that. So I was just glad that she called me on that and she corrected me on that. But correction, children being raised, black children being raised in the home without the benefit of a father. That's how I'll state that. Black children being raised in a home um, without the benefit of the father. Statistically, black children that are raised in homes without a father, statistically, they don't do as well in school. They don't perform well as good in school. The graduation rates for black males in homes in single parent homes raised without a father, are really low. Black females are more likely to have a child, um, be an unwed teen mom or unwed mother, or unwed teen mom when she's being raised in a home without the benefit of the father. Um, and those just to name a few, just to name a few, a couple of them. Um, Statistically, um, the odds are stacked against um, black children being raised um, in a home without the benefit of the father. And these are statistical facts. You can look them up. I can't make this up. They're statistical facts. But with that being said, that's I want to make that point to get to the next point that I'm getting ready to make. Black men like to say, and I hear this all the time in the black manosphere. They like to say that um, black women, black single moms, when a black child is raised in a by a single mother in a home without a father, and that child happens to become successful. That child becomes a famous basketball player or um, graduate from college and become a doctor or a lawyer or a famous entertainer or whatever the situation is. If that child that was raised without a father happens to become successful, the black manosphere seems to have a problem with black women taking the credit for um, this child that she raised without their father. They seem to have a problem with the black mothers taking credit. They said the black mothers want to take credit for um, when the child is successful, but then they don't want to when the child um, winds up being in jail or something like that, or situation like that. Then they don't. They don't want to, you know, you know, take the credit, or they want to say, "Oh well, it's my fault. It's not my fault. I did the best I could." Situation like that. Um, and that's another thing. Statistically, um, the incarceration rates are highest among black males that was raised um, with one parent in homes in fatherless homes. So that's another stat. Um, so the black manosphere seems to have a problem with black women when they raise the child without the benefit of the father, and the child winds up being successful. They seem to have a problem with black women taking credit for that. So I was thinking about that, because I hear that a lot. The black manosphere here on YouTube, I hear them say that a lot. Just different ones. I hear them make that statement a lot. And what my thought on that is, um, if you are a black single mother, I was a black single mother, and you raised your children without the benefit of a father. They was only raised with one parent, that was you, and you raised them without the benefit of the father. All those statistics that I just quoted, if you don't believe me, you can look them up for yourself. The odds are stacked against, statistically, the odds are stacked against a black child that is raised in a home without the benefit of a father. Okay. The odds are stacked against them. So when that child becomes successful, that child became successful despite all the odds that were stacked against them. So that means the mother must have done something. The mother must have done something that mother must have put something in that child that child succeeded, uh, defied all the odds that were stacked against them and was successful. So that means that mother must have put something in that child that um, encouraged that child to succeed. You understand what I'm saying? That mother, the mother, with God's help, I can't go without giving God the credit because we can't do nothing without God. That mother, with God's help, put something in that child, put something positive in that child that encouraged that child to succeed against the odds. Because a black child that is raised in a home, black children that are raised in a home without the benefit of the father, the odds are stacked against them. The odds are stacked against them. But if a child is successful despite all those odds, they defy the odds. They defy those odds and they're successful despite the odds. That mother, with God's help, must have put something in that child. Whether it was positive reinforcement, speaking life on that child, always giving that child encouragement, praying for the child, praying with the child, giving that child spiritual instruction. The Bible says train the child up in the way they should go. Okay. Just giving that child positive reinforcement, positive words. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that this child uh, um, went off to become a famous athlete or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be to that extreme. It could just mean that you raise a single mother raise uh children. A black single mother raised her children, and her children didn't wind up in prison, or her children didn't wind up on drugs, or the children graduated from high school. You know what I mean? Um, they winded up going out there and becoming productive members of society. Okay, they were able to go out. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that they were a famous athlete or a doctor or a lawyer or entertainer of some sort. It can just mean that the child graduated from high school. The child went to college. The child became, or they if they didn't go to college, they went to work and they became a productive member of society. Or that child had children and became a great parent to their children. So it means that also means that child raised in a single parent home defied the odds. They defied the odds of the statistics that I just stated to you. They defied those odds. So that means that with God's help, the mother put something in that child that gave that child some type of encouragement. She showed that child love. She spoke life on that child. She gave that child spiritual instruction. She prayed for the child and with the child. She instilled something. She led maybe she led by example, and she herself did positive things. She let her children see her doing positive things. Working, being a hard worker, going to college and things like that. She let her children see her doing positive things. She led by example, so to speak. She gave the children positive reinforcement, encouragement. That mother put something in that child to cause the child, with God's help, to cause the child to defy all the odds that was stacked against them to be successful, to go out and do this, to go out and do that, or just become productive members of society, or go on to be a good parent, or go on to be a hardworking man and become a productive member of society. So it just amazes me how the Black manosphere always say, well, Black women want to take credit for when the child is successful. Well, if the child, if she raised the child alone without the father, and the child winds up being successful, she must have put something in that child. She put something in that child. She planted some seeds in that child to encourage that child to do what they did. Okay. Cause so you either speak life on your children, or if the mother is toxic, let's say the mother, on the flip side, the mother is toxic and the mother is always saying negative things to the child. The mother's not showing the child love. She's not giving the child encouragement. She's always putting the child down and berating the child, saying negative things to the child, not showing the child love, talking bad about the father, the absent father that's not there, talking negative about consistently talking negative about the father, and telling the child they're just like them, and always feeding negativity to the child on a consistent basis, not showing the child love, basically just being a toxic mom. Then that child winds up going out and, low self-esteem, and in turn winds up not graduating from high school, or this and that and the other, or may wind up in prison, or whatever the situation is. So it depends on what you put in that child. You could be a single mother and raise the child without a father, but if the mother put something in that child and implanted positive things into that child, then that child can defy all the odds that are stacked against Black children that are raised in a home without a father. That child can, in fact, defy the odds. So the mother does have a hand in that. The mother does. So I just hear the Black manosphere on YouTube always saying that all the time, and saying that, oh, the mother want to take credit, because everything is always said to put Black women down, bash Black women, put Black women down. It's just another thing that's said to bash Black women and put Black women down. Um, um, Always not giving no credit, giving Black women any credit, even when Black women do something positive. They still want to say something negative and not giving them credit for doing positive things. So I just was thinking about that and marinating on that, and say, yeah, the child was successful despite the odds. Because there's a lot of odds, a lot of things that stacked against a Black child that's raised in a home without a father. So if that child became successful, that mother put something in that child. That mother did something. She did something right. She put something in that child to encourage that child to succeed. Despite the odds. Despite the odds that were stacked against them. So let me know in the comments section what you think. What are your thoughts on that? If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, the share, and the like. Hit me up. Let me know what you think about that. And until the next video, peace and love. This is Sweet June.